All right, legends, a word from today's sponsors before we kick off the podcast. Are you looking for a tray or canopy? Today we have LJ Fab based out of Chinchillies doing custom ute and tray canopies, shipping Australia-wide. If you're looking for your next steel or aluminium custom tray for your rig, make sure you get in contact with the team over at LJ Fab. Their work is second to none and can't be beaten. They're now taking orders from June onwards, so getting quick, spots are filling fast. Let them know the Hey Big Mac podcast has sent you. Thanks, guys. Next is Hampton's Media Services. Are you chasing professional photography, videography between Gold Coast and Bundaberg? Or logo designs like the same you see from all the Hey Big Mac accounts? They can bring your profiles back to life with a new professional look, so go check them out and let them know Hey Big Mac has sent you. Thanks, guys, and on to today's episode. Cheers. All right, welcome back to the Hey Big Mac podcast. This is a Rockynats Recap edition. I'm sitting here with the PISSBUSS, and we're getting into whatever we got into over the weekend. How's it going, big fella?
Oh, mate, it's fucking going good. Like, we're in recovery mode here, but we're fucking cracking, you know?
Full-blown recovery mode. So, all right, it was a bloody awesome weekend. Everyone had fun. Everyone sort of bailed and gone home. This is Monday that we're recording. So we're just sort of going to jump straight into everything that sort of happened over the weekend. So first up, you had your car in the show.
Oh, mate, I took a week off to get here, so that was 3 weeks off all up. But we had Brody come down from Mackay there and smash out some big hours in the ute with me, and I've got it done. You know, got it running, no issues. It's always a good weekend when you don't have to touch the tools, you know what I mean?
Yeah, got the rig built, got it done, performed all weekend. Limmy checked like crazy.
And if you're not fast, you got to be loud, you know what I mean?
Yeah, stand out. No. Oh, well, first up, obviously, because we're 4x4 display, what do you reckon?
I reckon, like, there's a lot of the big rigs that, like, the big names that weren't there, but the guys that were there, like, all good quality blokes, you know what I mean? Like, good builds, like, especially, like, the local blokes. Like, we had Walltech there, Big Motorsport, like, Alan Cornick, you know? We had, like, Swamp Donkey and the Pink Truck, and, like, it was a good scene, you know what I mean?
Everyone got along well, and there was a lot of 4B people there.
Definitely, man. Like, there was some good cars to see. Yeah, it was great catching up with some of the blokes I haven't seen for a while, like Dane Buster and all them. So.
Yeah. No, there's everyone running around for the 4B display. You had mostly patrols there, I'd say. A couple of cruisers, and then just some wild...
Definitely mostly patrols. There was like a few cruisers, but then there was some cool builds like that 45 with that 1HDFT. You know, that was so nice
Cows
to
one.
see. You know,
that was
80
very
chassis.
nice.
I had a great time talking to him about it too. Like, that extra cab chop that he did was absolutely out of the ballpark, man. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he formed all that sheet metal himself. That's not even... That's just awesome.
That's hard work.
Yeah, man.
What was your standout car of the weekend?
For me, I'd say it was definitely Swamp Donkey. I've been wanting to see that thing in person for a while now.
Yeah.
But that's just because I love race cars. Like, to me, like, if you're like a normal car, it just doesn't stand out for me. You know what I mean? Like, they're cool, but for me, it's like a race car because that's very purpose built. It's built to perform as good as possible. So
yeah. And
talking to the boys, like the bloke and the lady from that owns Swamp Donkey, like, there's some pretty cool work they've put in there, like a bit of R&D. Like, you can tell, like, they're into what they're doing. You know,
yeah.
They're not holding back. That's for sure.
They're loving it. Yeah. I think my pick for best 4B on display is probably Rob's Ute, cracking cruiser.
Wait, actually,
it's just I'm a cruiser boy.
I've seen that in the previous years at like King of the Strip, and I've had a chat to him like now and then, but I've never really had a really decent chat. And like this weekend, I've had a decent chat with him, and like he's a top bloke. Definitely, I respect his level of precision in the work he does.
The workmanship is second
100%.
to no one.
It's something to aim towards. Like, even for me, like, I see a lot of the shit he's done there. I'm like, fuck yeah, like that's definitely something I could strive to be like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's his whole ute ground up, just every single part has been touched. And then I don't think there was only 2 79s there.
Yeah.
There's chappies as well.
That's right, yeah. But like, looking at Kraken, like the detail, like, I've seen he runs his wires on top of the chassis rail, similar to what I'm doing, but then where it goes from the chassis rail up to the tray, he's got a stainless steel bracket to support it. And just like little shit like that just really neatens it up. You can see it's very well thought out.
every little, like I got to see that when he had it in the shed because he's a Sunny Coast person.
Yeah, that's right.
And getting to see that in the shed when he was doing little bits and pieces to it, and him being a fitter for J-Max, he did my ute, and I just know my ute hasn't had a problem in 2 years. He knows it's not going to have a problem.
Put it this way,
and
like,
his work is incredible.
Oh yeah, man! Like a bloke like that, you can be very confident in his work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when he's got a car like that, and you can see he's meticulous in the way he does things. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's good to see. And then, actually, one person we didn't see yesterday for Sunday, but Saturday was Andy's ute on display as well. The complete opposite. That's Superior. All 4x4, the unicorn.
Oh yeah, Alcino.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, it's one of those rigs. It's different, that's for sure.
It's
and
definitely
it's a crowd. What do you fucking call this?
It's an attention grabber.
Draws attention. Yeah, that's it, man. But like I said before, normal cars don't grab my attention, and
No.
like as far as that's a nice fit out and everything, but you know, it's all stuff you can buy off the market, like off the shelf, and that's great for all the blokes who obviously aren't in, I guess, my position, that don't have the tools or even the knowledge really to build the stuff that we're building.
Yeah.
That's great. It definitely showcases everything that's out there and everything that's possible.
It brings in a buyer's sale market.
100%.
But like someone like myself that doesn't have the utilities to fab and buy, you want to know, all right, what shop's going to have the best, I don't know, off-the-shelf products that I can run my car to be as capable as possible without going custom.
Definitely. And that's actually something I noticed, is there's not a lot of car repping anything PSR. In fact, I didn't see any PSR stickers. No one is working deals with PSR either.
Yeah, right.
I may be wrong, but I'm very certain that I was the only car there that runs PSR radius arms.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to look at.
It's an interesting one because I've reached out to PSR in the past, like, and sort of like trying to see if they like wanted to work on something, you know, and the level of interest just wasn't there.
No.
So.
Yeah, it's hard gauging companies, but that just comes with the territory. You stick doing what you're doing, and they'll come.
It's just one of those things. Like, you can always throw the question out there, like just seeing if a company's, you know, interested in working together, and if they're not, if it is what it is, you know. But yeah, it's just something I did notice, is no one is actually doing anything with PSR that were there anyway. So it's just a bit odd. But
yeah, that's a good one to note. Another one is the Ram that was on display. The only Ram that I seen there.
That thing.
Boost ×3 on the number plate says it all.
Yeah, look, I'm impressed by those things when they come off the showroom floor, because it's the Hemi. It's the blown Hemi, right? I love blowers. And then you look down at the ground, and there's a mirror on the ground showcasing his turbos that he's got under it. And I'm just... Yeah, that's nuts, man. Like
supercharge, 2 turbos sitting underneath the car.
Yeah.
The sign on it said 1,000+ horsepower, 1,000+ newton meters, so he probably hasn't recorded it accurately.
He's had it on a chassis dyno, and he can't get traction, man.
No.
He reckons he's like, they read 1,000, and he was blowing the tires off the rollers.
Well, the Hellcat's 1,000+ anyway.
Yeah. Capable of, and he's saying, he's like, he wants to get on a hub dyno, and then they'll have to do the math and, like, you know, figure out the tire size and all that shit. But like, the fact that he can't read, like, can't tell you exactly what he's making, but he's like, it's definitely over this, and he's confident it's over that, and you can see it's over that, just like what it's doing on the strip. That was pretty cool to see, actually.
To watch that thing rip down the strip.
Such a big car.
Basically spinning wheels.
Dude, such a big car. Going so quick.
Yeah. Well, I heard, I didn't get to see the pass yesterday, but they just yelled over the speakers. I'm not sure if it might have been an eighth, not a quarter or something.
It's an eighth mile, yeah, because it's not a lot of distance.
740.
We'll put it this way. Alan Cornick was running slower than that. He was I think he was like a 7.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Still quick as hell.
Fast.
And the GU is a lot smaller than the fucking Ram. He's also running smaller tyres. and Alan was also running. I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's running like semi-slicks.
Yeah, jeez.
And old mate was just on like all trains.
But the average time you'll hear in all weekend, even for some of the dedicated cars, like the muscle cars, were like 8s, 9s.
Yeah,
and even
man.
then, it's still ridiculously fast.
Did
There's
you-
obviously some very, very fast ones, but
You were with me when we watched Nick Hogg just absolute freight train a streetcar.
yep.
There was some car lengths there, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's only on 8th mile. You know how impressive that is for a GQ.
It's
Man,
crazy.
Like even like Alan Cornick, he absolutely handed out the chop, man. Like that was just so cool to see.
Yeah. That was the one issue I had with the drag event though. There was no viewing.
No,
You couldn't see anything. There was no
very
stands.
limited.
It was probably the letdown of the drift, the drags event.
I feel like maybe a few more like stands maybe, but the problem is with street drags, like you are limited because you got the buildings and stuff surrounding it, so your space is limited.
But they could have just trimmed back the trees for the weekend. Like you couldn't. They put the fences behind the trees.
Yeah,
And then
the layout of a lot of the things was a little bit off, but
yeah,
I feel like in the years to come, like that's just stuff they'll obviously hone in on, and you know, as long as the event doesn't get ruined by stupid things happening, which I don't think it will, because it was pretty, like everyone sort of
it was pretty
you know
well behaved for the most part.
themselves.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, like and the amount of cops there that weren't there to just fuck you, but they were just there to like make sure everything was running smoothly, and which it did. So that was good to see. But I reckon a little honing on that kind of stuff, you know.
it was a weekend that I think the cops definitely come in hot,
Oh yeah,
but it's an enthusiast weekend.
yeah.
Yes, don't be dickheads on the streets doing burnouts and skids and everything, but let everyone have their fun when they're on the parades and doing
Yeah.
all that stuff.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they're in the event, just sort of turn a bit of a hush to it because it's a weekend of cars.
It's an odd one really, and like you got to understand it from their point of view. I'm not
Yeah,
like you know my outlook on the cops. It's pretty fucking negative most of the time, but
yeah,
like they're just doing their job.
yeah,
So, as far as they're concerned, like it's a lot more cars coming into town potentially with illegal modifications.
yeah.
So they can turn a blind eye as much as possible, but when when the guys with those cars are doing skids on the street, like
Yeah.
they got to come in hard on that, which is understandable. But for
The
me,
biggest one was they were going off at everyone for revving their car.
yeah, for me, I'd like it to see more leniency towards the guys that are trailering the cars in. And a good example is Sam Isles,
Yeah,
who was trailering in his 180 with the 80 series, getting absolutely raped.
yeah.
That was, in my mind, a really shit thing because Sam Isles definitely brings some revenue. Like he
But
brings
for the
you know,
outreach he's got,
Yeah.
the first day for that to happen,
Well-
it set the tone for the police for the weekend.
Dude.
It was just negative.
How many
from there on.
stories did he post in that first day of different encounters with cops?
There was police everywhere.
Yup. So that was a pretty negative view, like negative little thing for the cops, and it's not Sam's fault, really.
It's not his fault, but he was also targeted on the way up.
He definitely was from previous things, but like, you know, it is what it is. I just feel like that definitely was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Being that he definitely wasn't doing anything dumb, he was just trailering a car.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like this is like my situation. Like I'm in a company car towing my bleed, so they don't give a shit about
They
it.
don't
It's
care.
great, but just because Sam Miles is towing it in his 80 series, that is obviously modified. They're just like onto him, you know.
Yeah. It would have been good to see that people like yourself that could drive your car on the street for the weekend, say if it's from accommodation to the event, instead of
That,
having to
yeah.
put if you're an entered car in the event, if you just got a permit for the 3 days by Rockynats
Yeah.
and Rocky Council,
If there was like
just to
some sort
drive.
of weekend pass sort of thing, that
Yeah.
would actually
it just make it so easy for
logistically it'd be
Just
so much
parking.
easier for every single person who's entering because
yeah,
car trailers and cars take up heaps of room.
yeah,
And parking in a city, like in a little city like that, with that amount of people is just not fun.
and it didn't make it easy to get around and
No,
do
definitely
anything. And
Like I was I was basically relying on the boys. I was like, all right, I'm going to load up the ute. I've got to go back to the house, and then we'll get in the 79 and go to the pubs or whatever.
Yeah. It was just a lot of back and forth. And every time you went back and forth from accommodation to the showgrounds to everything, it took an extra half an hour.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Especially with the traffic.
Yeah. It's more to improve. It's only, third Rockynats?
Yeah, man.
So, and besides that, it was very well organised the most half, but
Definitely.
even it was doing like the street parades with Sam on the Saturday. It was just like so power driven by the security and the marshals and whoever else was out there, and it was just like everywhere you went, it was like they're screaming at you.
That's one thing I was like giggling to myself about. It's like the security would be pointing you into a direction. I'm like, can't fuck off. I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah, we're like, no, we're trying to get to there. That's 10 meters away. No, sorry, mate. You're gonna have to do a lap around the block.
They lost their the like. We're all humans here. We can make something work. Like the perfect example is we'd come in where the entrance is for the entrance, and they'd all try and make us go towards where the muscle cars. Like, dickhead, I'm in a 4-wheel drive and I'm trying to get to my trailer. And they'd stand there for a second processing it. I'm like, dude, this is not rocket science, mate. No. I'm going to my trailer, so I start turning left, and they're pointing me to go to the right. I was like, nah, dude.
Yeah, they make you do a 3-block detour for a trailer that's 20, 30 metres away.
I'm not about that. I'm like, you can have some common sense, and I'm going to drive to my trailer, and it's not going to actually affect anyone's well-being. We'll be right, mate.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that. But, you know, it's right, you know. You can't expect everyone to be on top of it.
No. Is what it is. Drifting.
Oh, bro.
That was a good event.
So cool to see. That, actually, what was that? That was a S13, the black and blue one?
Yeah.
That was my favourite car by far. And you know why? Because that boy was on the sand.
He was
bashing limiter.
Yeah. I'm going to give a good shout out to me mate Billy. He was ripping. He's doing well.
Billy was into it, and you know what? I love the LS.
I think it's an LS Crusader.
Yeah, Billy's
hanging off that thing.
It was actually cool to meet him because he's such a chill bloke too.
Well, I know him from the coast, and Alec knows him from Mackay.
Even Dane knows him.
Yeah.
Because Dane was on the group chat. He's like, oh, someone's just shit an alternator at the drifting. I was like, I was on the group chat too. I was like, dude, just go steal the alternator out of the blue ute. He ended up finding him in the pits. But, and then it turned out it was Billy. I was like, oh, true.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we went down and watched practice first up, and then they were going through the... Oh, up it, mate.
It's probably overheating, mate.
If anyone's wondering, we're sitting on a balcony in the beautiful sunlight, and there's people just hooting past.
Mate, this is town and Sandsfoot. It's a town full of old rev heads.
Yeah. No, the drifting was probably one of the best events set up for spectating.
I love watching drifting, and you know why? Because drifting isn't always the same thing over and over again. No. Drag racing most of the time is, and like for drag racing, I go and watch certain cars, and the only cars I really wanted to see was Swamp Donkey, the Callum with the Ram. Was it Callum?
I think so. Yeah.
The guy with the Ram, and then obviously Alan and Nick.
Yeah.
Those were the 4 cars that I really wanted to see, and after that, it was like, okay, cool. Because like I'm not really into street cars. I'm into 4Bs, man.
It is cool to watch.
And as far as the burnouts go, I wanted to go watch Lucifer, but I was way too fucking busy over at the 4Bs thing.
But that was another one though. Was unless you're paying, what daily pay, maybe $240 for a VIP gold ticket or whatever, you didn't get any seating unless you were the very first person there for the day. You did not move, and you sat on top of the hill.
Yeah, that was a weird thing that me and Mitch were discussing. It's like the entrance, like me and Mitch going, and we're the reason that there's even people there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying us singularly. I mean all the entrance together. Yeah. So in my opinion, the entrance should have access
everywhere.
Yeah, which we didn't. Which was kind of shit, you know, like, we were treated as just another retard off the street. I'm like, no, we're actually kind of the reason that any, people are here spectating this. Yeah. Any extra people coming to town. We're the reason for that, you know? So I reckon the entrance should have definitely gotten more access. Yeah. But, because, that, I got an email from Rockynats, a few weeks out. They're like, oh, you know, we get first pick for getting an entrant, like buying an entrant, like the platinum pass. I was like, that's dumb as hell, bro. I'm not doing that.
Maybe for entrants it should be just given there. I don't know how Rockynats run their events from the inside, but you'd think, all right, let's, even if you made the entry passes for like whoever enters a car, $50, $100 extra instead of $240 for the ticket.
Yeah,
make it that little bit 50% discount.
Yeah, I'd pay the $50 extra. That's I would. I'm not paying $200 extra.
No,
because
and most of the time you're sat around your car talking to people, photos, everything. Like I was surprised because I was more watching from the outside in, just being a spectator and running around with the boys, helping them out.
Yeah.
Dropping cars, doing lifts, running around, picking stuff up.
Yeah.
But the boys that were entered into the event, like you and Mitch and a heap of others there that I knew personally, they're all everywhere we went. Oh, that's your car. Can we get a photo? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, you're so what's done here? How you've done this? And yous were just hammered all weekend.
Yeah, look, it was fun. Like, it was great talking to people that I've never met before. And because I always love meeting new people, and like, especially when it's talking about cars and shit. That's great. That's what I'm into. I don't get it as bad when I'm away from the car because not a lot of people know what I look like, which I actually like. Mitch and Alec were getting hammered at the pub spot. That was funny to see. Just
oh my god, is that Alec from Too Savage?
I was just funny as hell. Like I get recognised a little bit, but nowhere near that much, which I'm actually kind of happy about, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that's like, sometimes it's good to be able to fly under the radar. Like, I did a little bit this weekend just because I didn't have the youth there and I wasn't really advertised that I was there too much. But, yeah, to see some of the boys wandering around.
Bro, I was driving your car around and we were getting people yelling, "Hey, Big Mac!"
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, you just deal with it.
Yeah.
And run with it. But
it's one of those things, I want my car and my brand to be very well known. And if I can fly under the radar a little bit, that would be freaking awesome,
See, I'm in a way trying to do the opposite.
You are your brand.
Yeah, like Big Mac is me. I'm the brand. I try to put my face out there more, but it's hard because, you don't always have someone taking photos of you. Where this weekend, it was me taking photos and videos of all the boys.
Yeah, so. That's right. Like I've been, in the last few months, I've been posting a lot more about like photos with like me in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I usually
that fucking crow can piss off.
Bro, is this car of mine sort of what?
Shocking.
Get the 12 gauge out, boys. We're going hunting. We'll have a new trophy real soon, boys. You watch us space crow trophies. I wonder if you can eat crows. Just saying.
Don't want to find out. Don't want to find out.
I reckon you get sick, eh? Oh. If you eat like emu, you just get the runs for like a week. It's bad.
Yeah, no, not good.
Not talking from personal experience at all.
What was your favourite sort of non-4x4 car?
That black Chevy Nova.
Oh yeah.
I just love that body shape and that all blacked out.
Yep.
That was just beautiful. I love that.
I think mine had to be, I'm pretty sure it was the chart. Like I went Saturday with like Sam and Mick to the the show and shine display at the showgrounds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There was a Camaro there. I can't remember the motor off by heart, but it had the biggest turbos I've seen.
Well, yeah, you told
twin
me
turbo
about
one. It was
that is sick. Yeah.
But the cars in that, I think there probably would have been 20 cars in that shed.
Yeah.
Every single one of them were immaculate builds.
Yeah, man. There is some cars there that has just their next level, just absolute show cars. There was actually another one. It was that what's the Chevy Apache pickup? Rod Shop.
Yeah, right. That brownish patinaed,
with a greeny brown.
That was cool.
I love that. I love pickup trucks, like lowered pickup trucks, old school and square bodies, all that. Yeah, that was probably like my definitely second favorite out of all the street cars. Yeah,
there was so many to look at.
There was a chopped Firebird, my boy. Yep, and that thing was fucking awesome. I don't like the body shape of a Firebird, But in that setup, how it was chopped into ute, and it was done so clean. Like, you didn't, from behind, it looks like a one-tonner.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought it was until I walked around the front, and I seen the front, and I was like, hang the fuck on, this is cool.
Yeah.
I reckon that guy would have copped a fair bit of hate from the OG old boys, but, like, that stuff's cool, man. I love custom stuff like that.
No, there was a couple of rotary cars there, especially, well, Dave's.
Dave goes, hey.
That thing
Man.
was sick.
We were talking to the old mate from Bendix there, and Dave starts this thing up, and we just stop. It's like, all right, this is loud as hell.
We just hung tight with this bloke we're talking to for a minute. No one could hear anything.
We were just standing there, like, just chill, just on the chill, bro. Just looking at this thing, like, this thing's loud. It's loud and proud, that's for sure.
That thing was sick. But he was another one that spent the whole week leading up building that thing, getting it ready.
Yeah, man. Me and Dave, he was ready way before me.
Yeah.
Because, like, 2 weeks before, I was messaging Dave, and he's like, dude, you're in the same boat as me. I'm like, yeah, bro. And a week later, his shit's running, and my shit's, like, still just a rolling chassis.
Well, you started your ute the day before.
Yeah, so that Wednesday night, about 10:30, I started for the first time. Yeah, and I actually only hit two-step for the first time, like, the night before, like, at the Auto Pro meet.
You ran the ute for 5 minutes in the shed, put it on a trailer,
Basically,
took it to the street parade, and drove it for an hour straight.
Yeah. It was quite funny. I was pretty confident in it because I spent a lot of time perfecting a lot of things that weren't perfect before.
Yeah.
Like, my new wiring harness is probably the best I've ever done. Like, it was well thought out. Like, and everything that I've built, like, this last 2 weeks, it's worked 100% perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about. There's a few little things like clearances on that wire pipe that I would like to change, but that wire pipe's going to be changed from a 30-degree angle to, like, just a straight angle, I reckon, like, just 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, but little things like that, that's just easy to fix, but, like, it just ran so beautifully, and I'm so happy with the work that me and Rossi have done to that over the last 2 weeks.
It's just the little things that you pick up when, like, you went basically back to chassis,
Yeah, man.
full restrip. It's the little things that you pick up and go, all right, I'm going to do that right this time.
Yeah,
Fix that,
like,
change that.
It's like the little things I've learnt over, like, the last year of playing with the LS and stuff, and just ways to improve what I've done, and
Yeah.
you know.
What actually doesn't get used in the ute, what's still getting used, what's
Exactly.
important, what can be upgraded.
Yeah, like, you remember at the New Year's Eve over at Big, like, Fivies, I was running like probably 7 switches all up on the dash.
Yeah.
And I figured out very fast that when it's nighttime and you're bashing around in the dunes, it is very, very difficult to pick your ignition switch from your high beam switch when it's on the center part of the dash.
And
So
it looks the exact same.
I changed it all up. So my ignition switch and my start button is up near my steering column.
Yeah.
And now I literally have 2 switches on the center part of the dash, which is like rock lights, and the other one's an accessory switch.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it. Nothing else.
Or you just hit there and hit two-step.
Bruv, 2 steps on the shifter, and that button's always pressed in, let's face it.
Yeah.
Like last night.
Yeah, like last night.
So Mac and I got back to the workshop last night and took the car for a drive around the block just because we haven't really driven on the street together. Like,
We wanted to rip it, was basically all
we just wanted to see
do.
flames.
Yeah.
So we fucking cruise up the street, and I'm cruising, I fucking hammered it, and I get off the throttle and you just hear that rear diff going, whoa, just whining. It's not happy with life. She's on its way out.
It was whinging.
And I put up a video of it. Like, in the video, I just said to Mac, I was like, you can hear that rear diff. She's not happy. And I was like, it was probably a good thing we didn't go to 5Es. And that's, as I enter a corner, I just slap it back to first gear and punch it. And you just hear this thing hitting the limiter as we're coming around the corner. Just absolutely thrashing it.
It was like a little boost cut and then just launched. The exact opposite what we wanted to do on a half-screwed rear diff.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty sure I've got a spare diff now. I just got to check the ratio, but we'll be right, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was not the day. Was it Friday? Maybe it was a Friday or Thursday or Friday. Mitch blew his diff.
Yeah, that was Thursday.
So
I was on my way there. In fact, I left, and half an hour later, Alec calls me like, "We blew a diff." I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Because I definitely have a 4-3 sitting in my workshop, but I was already half an hour out and I was running late.
And you were running late, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he got that. Well, he got a spare diff swapped in.
Yeah.
Wasn't the right size, but yeah, you got it fixed.
He got it running at least. So.
You can run for the weekend and get home, so.
And he's nearly back in Townsville now, so it's obviously got him out of trouble, that's for sure.
Everyone's bailed pretty quickly.
Man, everyone just split straight after. Like, we were so tired, man.
Yeah.
That night before, I think we just wrecked ourselves. We should not have done that.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, the event of planning for all the different bits and pieces going on, like, it was so hard to try and see everything all weekend. Like, even if you only went for an hour to each event, you couldn't see it all. Like, we ducked over to the showgrounds, like me, Sam and Mick, a few others and whatnot. Rossi came. We went to the showgrounds just after lunch and we saw a little bit of the bikes, but the bikes weren't really riding because the wind. And then went to the dyno shed where they had the hub dyno set up. But it wasn't bad. Like, got to see it, but it's pretty disappointing. Like, a couple of cars on there.
Yep.
Making, I don't know, 200-300 horsepower and whatnot. Small pools.
Yeah, and then Old Mate comes out with 1,700 horsepower.
No, whoever set the record for the weekend, it was like 1,700 horsepower and some ridiculous new meters, but it's a hub dyno, so you can't accurately measure it. But the worst thing was sitting at the hub dyno, every single car took like half an hour to swap over. So you basically, you go watch one car and then you'd leave, because otherwise you'd be there all day just watching dyno pulls and you'd miss the event. So
yeah, that's a chassis dyno, like a trailer chassis dyno would probably be way better.
Just to pull on and off.
You could actually find someone with one, and that is really hard to do.
And having it set up somewhere and not have, No, so, what else sort of happened over the weekend? Everyone went out and partied just about every single night. No one slept.
Oh, bro.
We got about 6 hours sleep over the whole weekend since Thursday.
The 2 weeks running up to it, I railed myself. I was going to bed at 3 o'clock every morning, and then this weekend was no different. We just had no sleep. So it was like Sunday morning I get there, and Dane and everyone's like just chilling there, just talking shit, and I'll rock up and I'll look hammered. And Dane's missus even says to me, she's like, "You look dead." I'm like, "I feel dead." I just had a V in my hand. I just lay down on the fucking bitumen there. I was just like, I'm not having this. Like,
for Friday, I got up there probably just about 10, 11 when it sort of opened up for the street parade.
Yeah.
And I was feeling pretty good. Like, it rained, which sucked.
Oh, yeah, but luckily the rain stopped.
It cleared up and it was a sweet weekend. But I was cruising. I was like, this is going to be a good weekend. Yeah. We did the parade, sort of went back to MBB. Then we came... Where did we go after that? We went out somewhere. We had a few drinks. Oh, we had a few drinks at the Airbnb, Pose and Bull, and then we went to Sam's for the night. Yeah, got on the beers air. We had whippersnippers and mowers going, and scooters and whatever the hell
Big
else
Mac
was going
and
on.
Rossi decided to do some gardening inside of the fucking garage
At 1 a.m. in the morning.
Bro,
that was a big night. But then Saturday, we woke up and we were so sore. We were tired.
Man, I woke up in the same bed as Mitch and fucking Alec.
Yeah. It was a long, like, but then, like, we were like, oh yeah, let's get up at 6, because you had to get your cars in by 7 or something for
we had to be there
displays,
at 7.
which I think was, I was talking to Mick from Dare to Explore yesterday about it. Why don't they open up one of the streets, like where they had the bikes or where they had the show cars, and put the 4-wheel drives in an easy accessible location? Because I don't doubt that next year they're probably going to have maybe the same size, if not double.
It will be bigger next year for sure.
They're not going to fit in that car park again. Yeah. Like, if you had 6 more cars, you wouldn't have fit down there.
Nah, man. And like next year, well, I'm planning on having the G60 there as well next year, but I'm also working with Allied now, so probably get them to be more involved next year, and possibly Night Fab as well. So like room would be great, because we were pretty limited there.
Yeah.
Like, there was probably room for 1, maybe 2 more cars. And it was tight for most of it, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'd love to enter my ute next year. Like, obviously, committing that the ute's going to be in a nice sort of shape and way. I'm going to be organised for it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
dude,
it's a good weekend.
You're friends with some of the most creative car builders around, so we'll get something done, mate.
Yeah, I just got to get it. Like, I don't know, the Ute this year was just. It still just looks like a beaten up rock crawler that I just left Sydney with.
I'm pretty keen for Rossi's build, eh? He's got some big plans, so we'll see what he comes up with.
Yeah, hopefully he just gets it.
I told Rossi I'm more than keen to come help him with that thing. Like,
Yeah.
I even said to him, like, if he wants to bring it down here, like, he can use my hoist in my workshop and stuff like that.
Well, him and Alec have the Alec's got the new
Alex
hoist
got
and
the
that.
workshop and stuff. Yeah, so that's probably
And they've got a few connections in Mackay with
definitely, especially
all the boys
Chuck.
up there. Yeah. No, they'll be sorted. Rossi's a keen little fella. He loves his Land Cruiser.
Man, he does, hey.
No, good on him. It's just learning off everyone else, part of the industry, having fun with it.
I think Ross is probably in the best position he possibly could be. Like, he's 19 years old, so he's pretty impressionable still, but
Fresh, he's funny.
Being mates with, like, us and, like, Alec and Mitch Gunn, like, and especially with, like, Chuck and all them, like, it's decent. That's really good mates to have, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely help him out and put him in the right direction.
No, it's sort of good. Like, everyone gets this, the stigma on social media that, all these guys, they've got followers, they must be, like, up themselves. And we're sitting there all weekend running around, goofing, just chilling out like the normal boys. But then people come up and it's, like, we don't mind, just jump in, say g'day, how you going? Like, I met so many people for the first time on the weekend.
That is why we're there. We love talking to people. It's just great.
It's like, if you see us, they're going to be excited. And especially, like, I witnessed on a few of the other boys when we're going out when nightclubs or at the events or they're seeing their cars and they're freaking out, like, with Sam. Sam gets it everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're going like, oh, my God, it's Sam Holes. Can we get a photo? Like, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, mate, all the world to them. Like, they're sitting there excited and crazy. If you just walk up and actually appreciate the person, they're going to love you a lot more as well.
Like, we're all just humans, bro.
Yeah.
We're just out here doing what we love doing, you know? Like, it's great being recognised for it. There is a lot of people who sort of, like, I don't know, they're a bit odd about it. Like, I get it a lot. Like, some chicks will be like, oh, you know, fucking, can I get your autograph? I'm, like, joking about it. I was like, well, shut up.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not like that, you know? Like, nowhere near that, like, well known. But a lot of the chicks, like, and even blokes, and they'll just, like, they'll see, like, you got so much followers, like, whatever. And they'll just think you're unreachable. I get it a lot. Like, people will message me, and I always reply to messages, and they just say to me, like, oh, I didn't think you're actually going to reply. I'm like, fucking oath I am, bro.
It's like, how many messages do you get? Oh, dude, I just seen you at the shops, or I just seen you walking around, and it's go,
like, come up and say hi, man.
Come up and shake me hand. Like, I think most of the weekend, like, I took about 20, 30 stickers with me. And, like, I'd see people come on, grab a sticker, bang, handing out stickers. Like, 90% of the time, if you see me and I'm with my car, probably going to have stickers. I'll give you one.
Yeah. Like I've had a few people, like, even come up to me at the servos while I'm fueling up and stuff. And, sadly, like, for some reason, when I'm at the servos, I never have stickers in my car. But anyway, get the dog. Is that the same GU?
It's probably the exact same bloke. Oh, no, it's a different bloke.
That's a U. Oh, my. Yeah. There's a few of those around.
Yeah.
But no, like...
Don't be scared to take a photo.
Nah, man, that's a big thing for me. Like, I'm always surprised when people say it to me, too. I don't know why, but... Like, I had a person from up north message me the other day, and they're talking to me for a little bit, and they're like, oh, one of her friends is, like, a really big fan. Like, he loves my stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. I'm like, why doesn't he message me? Is what I'm thinking. I was like, just send me a message, dude. I'm going to reply to you. I'll answer any questions you've got. And she's like, I honestly didn't even think you could reply to my message. I was like, why? Like, what about me makes you think that's the case?
Like, I know a lot of people that will not go through their message request folders. I'm like, that's where I meet 90% of the best people that I've talked to or met.
I'll always go through it. I will not respond to hate messages. Nope. Better than that. Like, in my opinion, like, if... I get people don't like some stuff, and, like, for me it's the same thing. Like, there's some cars I don't like, but I'm not going to talk shit to them about it, because it's not going to make them feel any better, and it's not going to do any good. I'm all about trying to spread positivity, so I'm just not going to open hate messages, because it does not help you mentally. So fuck them.
And like I'm just sitting here on my account looking. Just for message requests over the weekend was 25.
Bro.
Probably about 10 to 15 of them are just why it's you look at it and go, why would you send that message through? It's stupid. It's hating on it's hating on builds, it's hating on someone else. It's you're not going to get a response even though you're probably feeding for a response.
Yeah.
But there's
100%.
a couple in here I'm looking at now and it's like, that was a sick weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this? Blah, blah, blah. Look, proper genuine questions that I'll probably spend today getting back to because we've been
This is
big
another
weekend.
little thing you get a lot is like people who know about you and who like I get it a lot with like some of the like boys that live in this town actually because like they'll know about me because they're mates with my housemate.
Yeah.
So they'll think they're buds with me and I was like, no, dude, we don't know each other like that. So they'll throw little comments up on like my posts and stuff. Like there was a good example like a few months ago. I put up a post of like the last car meet we went to over in Brisbane.
Yeah.
One of the boys in there, he's like, there was like 3 cars I posted up, 2 cars that were like glassy rigs. They were absolute hammered and they was fucking cool rigs, man. And then there was
that was
car.
the Max 4x4.
Yeah, man, that one. And this one kid comments is like, yeah, 2 out of these 3 cars actually get wheeled.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if you want to hate, don't make it that obvious. Like, this just makes you look sad. And,
I didn't see any of that on the weekend. People hating on rigs.
That was pretty good to see. There was a lot less of that.
I think it's because there's more. If you're going to the event, you're an enthusiast.
Yeah,
you're there to appreciate.
You're paying to be there.
Yeah. But in general, you get it so often. I get it. Oh, it's just a Street Boy 79, and it's just like all that and sort of stuff.
The thing is, the moment you react to that, they always hit you with, "Oh, it's just banter." I was like, "Fuck off, idiot!" It's not like you know what you're doing, and you're just hiding behind that little thing as a shield. So
they're trying to clout themselves.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I do. The amount of people that just like. Just in it for the clout. It's just funny, man.
It's like the biggest sarcasm piss take. Wait, it's just a TikTok build.
Oi, bro. That was funny when that idiot said that to me in that one group chat and Rossi went off at him. I didn't even react and Rossi just goes off, bro.
Oi, creators having creators back. The boys supporting boys.
The best feeling of my life. Because I've... Like up until probably when I met you and the boys like Jake and Luke, I've never really had mates that I could be like, these guys have my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've always like had people that I associate with, and like now I realize they weren't real mates, but who'd always like in situations like that they'd fucking add to it instead of backing me. And when Rossi did that, I was so like it took me back. I was like, what the hell? This is like. I was so happy, man.
And I think the people that are going to have your back in that situation are the same ones that are copying it themselves as well.
Oh, fucking oath.
Like, if I see someone like, I get some reels that will go absolutely nuts, and it doesn't matter how good you've done that video, how good something's happened, if there's an event, a skit, a jump, a bloody forward track, someone's always going to complain and criticise, and you're like, all right, so if I click on your account right now, are you going to have better, if not worse, content? Because I guarantee all the people that are doing really good content of the same stuff aren't commenting on someone else's posts, criticising them. They're helping them, or they're going, that's sick, let's go out for a wheel.
You know what? The people who, like the other creators who are there, they're too busy focusing on becoming a better version of themselves and helping the blokes who are helping them be that better version. They're too busy doing that to hate on people's shit.
100%.
The people who hate on your stuff will never be as well off as you are. And that's a fact, man. Every single person I've ever seen hate on my stuff has nothing going for them. Yeah. And that's just the way it is.
Hey, but at the end of the day, if they're loving you or they're hating you, they're still following you.
Bro, you know what? You get, even from the haters, you're getting exposure, and exposure is where it's at.
And that boosts, like, if someone's hating on you, they're interacting with you, and it's boosting your analytics, and it's getting you out there. It's getting you seen.
Comments are comments, I'll tell you that much.
There's a reason why everyone sits there and tells you to like, comment, follow, subscribe, whatever it is, because it helps. And everyone asks you to do that, and it's because they do want to know what you think of it. They genuinely do. But if you're jumping on there and going, you're just an arsehole, you don't deserve this shit, or blah, 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 don't do it.
I'd much rather have someone message me and tell me a legitimate reason of something they don't like about me than just comment hate. Like, if someone's got an issue with me, just fucking talk to me about it, you know what I mean?
Just say it.
Like, that I can appreciate. But when you're just going to comment hating on people's stuff, I just feel like that's childish. Because, like, I always think about it, like, as me. Like, if I see a photo of a car that I don't like, I'm not going to
keep it to yourself.
I'm not going to take the time to tell that person on a comment that I don't like it and make myself look like an idiot in front of everyone else. That's just dumb.
Like... You got your own opinions. Everyone's entitled to it.
Yeah.
So be like, enjoy it. But like, I don't know, you jump on someone's post and you go, dude, that's a sick build. How you've done this? Like, there's always going to be someone that's done the next conversion or wheel lift or bloody, I don't know, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And everyone just wants to know those little things. But the constant messages that people get are, what lift and tyres are you running? It's like, how many posts do you have up that are already there that are either pinned or highlighted? Yeah. It's like, you could find it easy. I
have a build highlight that showcases my build every step of the way of me fabricating every part, how I worked it all out.
Yeah.
And I still get people ask me if I've got a rammed fucking falling kit.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm offended by, is when people think I actually use kits.
Yeah. No, it's custom with a K.
Yeah, my G. We worked this shit out.
Yeah, it's CAD with cardboard aided design.
Yeah, my boy, let's go.
No, the hate's a hard one because I don't know.
Look, I don't care who you are.
You want to support people, but
it affects you in some way.
And I don't mind the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been asking for a lot more of it.
I respect constructive criticism. Like, the other day, like, I was like, we have a conversation with Jalen Welsh, the guy with the pink GU. And I can't remember how the hell we got onto the topic, but I asked him, I was like, what's your first impression of me? And he looks at me, he's like, absolute ADHD energy when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
Because, like, dude, I was in my element this weekend because we were around cars. And when I'm around cars, I'm excited and I'm super, super into what the hell we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And, I was like, I could see that happening, bro. Cannot stand still.
Yeah. No, I got, in that Ford, we probably spent 90% of our time around the four-wheel drive displays all weekend. And I probably knew a few of the people there, even online, I only just knew them, but there's a lot of people I'd never even seen of before. And just there was one bloke, he had a just a GU wagon there. It was bright red, turbo, all the works.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one.
I cannot remember your name, but we just had a little bit of conversation, chatting away. And then there was another bloke I'm not sure what, there was another patrol. And we just started talking and going over builds and that. It was just genuine conversations. And these people are genuinely, when you talk to someone that's got their ute there on display that aren't a big figure themselves, and they just sit there and they're genuinely passionate about a four-wheel drive industry.
I always say I love being around like-minded people. And every single one of the blokes there, they've worked very, very hard to be where they were. Yeah. And you can see that when you're talking to them. You appreciate that. Yeah. That they've spent the time. They've spent the money, obviously. And the knowledge that they have to share is worth $1 million, man.
Yeah. I learned so much over the weekend about just different things, four-wheel drive related, engine conversion, suspension, turbos,
tell you what,
whatever it was. It was insane.
If you want to talk to someone about motors, especially the LSs, but not just LSs, Nick Hogg, Alan Cornick. Alan Cornick's really nice to have a chat. I've
never met him. I've seen him online a lot, but
in January when I blew the first LS, I went over to Alan's place and we were talking to him about, the next build, and I'm 100% going through him with all the parts.
Yeah.
But just being able to talk to him about different setups and possibilities of the next motor.
Yeah.
It was very, very good to get an idea of the direction I'm heading into.
Yeah.
And not only that, he knows combinations of parts that work, which was so good to see. And yeah, but that's obviously now for the petrol motors and stuff. That's what they're into.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely blokes that's been through it all.
Yeah.
Like they've done it and they've got the experience, which is great to be around that kind of people.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you reckon could have been changed over the weekend? Or
Man,
done differently?
Transport.
Transport, yeah, that was a big one.
It's because it's so spread out, and that ferry service shutting down so early.
Oh, the ferry.
Nah,
The
dude.
biggest downside.
There's got to be a better way to do it. I'll tell you what.
They had buses going, but you're not going to fit hundreds of people onto a bus.
Not with the amount of traffic and stuff that's going on, man. There's just got to be a better way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That ferry service, the ferry service is probably the best way to get across because it's just direct. But them shutting down so early, I reckon you can run 2 ferries, dude. Just alternating, and it's not
I think
impossible.
someone did say they shut because the sandbar or something, it gets too low. But it's just like there was no notice.
Run a smaller ferry, but 2 of them then. You get the same capacity, but you just keep running. But yeah, I get like at low tide that specific ferry. I guess it's got a deep fucking.
Who knows how it's run?
Whatever. I'm not a boat person.
But yeah, it was very like unless you stayed around where the drifting, the show, like the street show cars, the drags, the 4x4 display, unless you stayed there, it was a 15-20 minute effort to get anywhere else.
Yeah, man.
Like,
that was like me.
and good luck driving because there is no parking anywhere, and half the streets are closed off. So most of the time, people are on scooters.
Tell you
And
what.
every single time you got on a scooter, there was a hassle. Like,
Bring your joggers, I'll tell you that much.
wear comfy shoes.
Me and Dane were talking like next year we're just gonna bring some fucking motorized eskies.
Yeah.
So that's actually
But you know what? They'll probably kick up a stink about that.
No, what I want to do is I want to build a electric motorized esky, but not an esky, a fridge.
Right.
I'm gonna go buy a 70-litre King's fridge.
Yeah.
Put a deep cycle battery on this bitch, and put an electric motor on it, and that's what I'm gonna run. Because I can't see that being an issue.
But you know what? They'll probably find a way to have an issue with it because you're riding a motorized vehicle on the footpath around in the events. Like,
You know what I'll do?
they'll kick it up a stink about scooters everywhere.
I'll tell them to get fucked. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Mate.
No,
Slap a few allied stickers on that bad boy. Nah, bruv, we're doing advertising.
Yeah. Even I reckon just bringing up like a normal push scooter or something. It's tiny.
Well,
you
that's
can
why
get
I brought the
around.
BMX. But no, I'm thinking maybe just a scooter next year.
Yeah.
It's just a bit smaller. BMX is still like, you get fucking 30-inch wide handle, 20-inch wide handlebars.
The hard part is, like, you obviously can't ride it around the displays everywhere, and you don't want to be dropping a scooter onto someone's car.
No.
And there's too many people walking, but it's more so getting between the different events everywhere. Like, to get to the showgrounds, like on the electric scooters, it's still a 10, 15-minute mission.
Yeah.
And then once you get there, you've got to drop the scooter, walk another half a K into the event because they've set up the limit zones.
Right.
And
I just figured it out, boy. Alright, so we're going to go down Kmart, right? We're going to buy some of the Razor scooters, the ones you fold up. We're going to buy a backpack.
the ankle breakers.
Right, no, and we're going to spend a few weeks beforehand practicing the fucking move, right? So you just fucking wheel up, yeah? You wheel up, and you just, as you're fucking wheeling, you just jump off, take a couple steps, fold it into the backpack, and you're good.
Done. Walk in.
And then it's going to be like synchronized. We're like all going to do it at the same time. It's going to be really synchronized.
Yeah. Anything else that stood out over the weekend? Actually, I got to see one of the Sunny Coast boys, Trey. He had his car entered in the drags. That thing was going good.
I didn't get to see him. I messaged him, but I didn't get to see him.
I got to see one good run that he sort of got.
Yeah.
But then I know a lot of the boys that were doing the drags, they had a lot of heat issues. Everyone was having heat issues. It was so hot.
What? Bro, it wasn't even 35 degrees. It was a bit humid. It was a bit humid Saturday because of the rain on Friday, but
even Friday it was very
especially after that rain.
After the rain,
yeah.
like yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it was very hot. Like,
can you imagine if this shit was like in December?
Oh,
that'd be like 40 degrees.
No, thank you.
I was out of morning bars getting like 40, 45 degree days. Just, nah, dude. No, thanks.
No, we probably finish off with bloody nightlife, going out, having a bit of fun. Oh, that was fun.
Everything still hurts, bro.
Bloody, the best thing about being tall is you can see where you are in the club.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
The worst thing about being tall is
everyone
you're the tallest one in the club.
Yeah, man, that was funny. Me, you, and Fridge. That was just...
Shout out Fridge.
Shout out Fridge. Just the three biggest blokes around. That was just great. It was a good night. I got to sign some titties. You know, it's all good.
No, it was good, buddy. I don't know. We were in the club. We caught up with Blake and Maddie there, and that they come out after they get up there Saturday. Got to see them out. There's a few other boys there. Mitch and Alec were running a mission.
Bro, I mean, that's just typical Alec energy. I mean, no, not Alec. That's who was that? Alec was dead, remember?
Alec didn't come. No one's going to watch this.
That was just typical Mitch and Alec energy, man. Like, and that's why I love having them around. They just...
Dude, they were on a nut. Like, we went back and had a nap.
Yeah.
So they just kept drinking. They went out. They got on another level.
Man.
They were running around with... They were setting up gold diggers, clout chasers. It was awesome.
It was the funniest shit. Like, they'd go up like, oh, do you want to get a photo? And this chick would be like, nah. And they're like, nah, we're doing it for an Instagram. Like, we're both verified.
It's going... we need to do a Instagram reel, and it's going on a verified account. We need some photos. They were going up with a face filter on and taking photo with... Yeah.
You see this one? Bro, this chick was like, she got her titties out. She thought she was being cool. Nah, bro, there's a face filter on you. Psych.
There was just the photos they were getting with security guards, other people, bar staff. There was just... And people were so oblivious to it.
Yeah,
but
man.
As soon as they said, it's for a verified account, it's going on Instagram, it's got heaps of followers, bang, everyone was getting photos with them. It was... They were just... backflips on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah. No, it was kind of funny because it's them two there. Like, they're more outgoing, you know. And then there's the two of us. We're more similar, where we're a bit more laid back, a bit quieter, you know.
Observing.
Yeah. It takes a bit longer for us to really fucking let loose. And it was so funny about just watching them just doing their thing.
And we also rocked up half sober.
Yeah, man.
And they were absolutely fried.
Bro, I rocked up. I was like, "No, I'm Desert Driver," and I was like, I had one beer, and this one chick started just feeding me alcohol. I was like, bro, let's go.
Yeah. No, that was fun. It was hard to find somewhere initially to go out and drink because it was so packed.
Yeah, man. I think, as far as Rocky goes, I don't know. Like, I haven't gone out there much, but I think the goat's basically it.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
No. It was still fun, man. Like, we had a good time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, met a lot of... Like, man, the amount of people that I've seen at the goat that recognised me.
Yeah, but...
And then
I'd say, no, not 90%. Probably 80% of the people that were out in Rocky for Saturday night was probably from the event.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Everyone we met there, like, as soon as someone heard someone say... that's PISSBUSS, or that's, I don't know, Maddie and Blake, I feel sorry for them. They were just copping it all night.
Bro, they couldn't move. They were surrounded.
But they're famous now because of TJ. Nah.
Hey, my name's Mac Person. I've got a VDJ. Yeah. That was the funniest thing when...
But they'll get recognised everywhere.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it was good, but every time someone heard a name, like, I got it a few times by people that recognised me, and it was, like, everywhere. But... it was good. It was a fun night. Everyone was just drinking, getting on it, having fun, and yeah, there was a few assholes out there.
That's expected.
But like before,
that one guy that come up and grab my neck. I was like, bro, you're
idiot.
Like 2 times smaller than me. Chill the fuck out.
But
he's a local Tannen boy too.
Yeah, it's just like let's have some fun. We're out at the club, enjoying ourselves, and there's people coming up, pushing and shoving and grabbing people, and it was annoying.
Yeah, there's when especially like because we're hanging around some of the chicks and stuff and having a good time. There's always gonna be blokes that sort of like try and fucking assert their dominance. And it's like,
Yeah.
bro, like, you're so much smaller than me. Just back the fuck off, please. Thanks.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a really good night still.
Yeah.
I am still recovering.
It was a bloody awesome weekend.
Well, I don't want to see any videos of that night with me in it. Thanks.
Oh, has anyone seen what the wacky inflatable armlands look like?
You know what?
That is piss
Full
bus.
disclosure, I picked that dance move off Blake.
Like Vickery.
Yeah, Blake Vickery. Last
Yeah.
year, I was went to the clubs out in Gladstone with him and Matt, and I picked up that dance move off him there. And I just figured I could do it better because I'm so much taller.
Yeah, it's tune into the story. We may or may not put it up if you want to see it.
I don't care. Put it on. It's funny. That's what it was. You had to be there to appreciate it.
It was good. Everyone was losing it as soon as you did it because you're...
Bro, I had people like going like, I'm just waiting for you to do the dance move again. I was like, yeah, nah, watch out.
Over 6 foot on the dance floor, surrounded by people that are 5 foot tall.
I'd basically like spread my arms out and make the circle. I was like, all right, boys, just wait up.
Classic. It was good. Actually, another good thing of the event was your mates
Yeah, man.
beer garden.
That was so nice to go there.
Cheeky little delight. Just it was basically perfectly set up between the 4x4 drags display and the drifting. So it was like a little mid-stop. It was nice and shady.
Yeah, no, that was definitely probably a highlight for me. Just sitting in the shade on the nice cool grass, drinking a beer. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was real reset missions.
Yeah, for sure.
Bloody good weekend. I think we can probably just about finish her up there.
Yeah, man.
Let's send off the weekend.
Oh, I might go back to sleep now.
Go home, go back to sleep. I've still got to drive back to the coast this Harvey.
I feel sorry for you, eh? I might just go and clean out the workshop.
It's probably going to be... Dude, you got a lot of cleaning.
Oh, I've got a big job ahead of me.
Nah, I'm going home. I'm actually not sure what I'm doing this week, but I'll be finding work somewhere and need to make some money again.
Stay busy, eh?
Yeah. No. Alrighty, well, we'll close her off there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, wherever you're listening. Make sure you share this to your friends. Bang up a screenshot of this episode. Tag myself, the PISSBUSS, and maybe even anyone that you had seen at Rockynats for the weekend. Anyone, and tag your favourite builds, and tag us in your favourite builds as well.
Yeah, bro, tag us. We usually... We're not
Reshare
busy. We
everything.
always reshare anything we're tagged in. We're always all for supporting everyone else. It's definitely one of the great things about Instagram. Doesn't cost money to support anyone.
Yeah, no, 100%. Alrighty, guys. So appreciate that heaps. Make sure you jump on, like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, all the good shit. And we will see you next week for another episode. Thank you.
Right, boys. Thanks for that.
Shake it back!
Woo!